Good rising and great awakening. Welcome to KemeTones Self-Care with Blue Lotus Speaks. And my name is Tchiya Amet. And we're here with a very unusual episode today. You may or may not be aware that today is, we're coming into the season known as the Fall Equinox. That will be on Wednesday. And also we're in a phase called Mercury Retrograde by most people. Here at HeruScopes we call this period the portal of Djehuty. And, you know, I had something planned for today. I had it all prepared, and then, about an hour ago, everything just vanished. My computer just slowed down. It vanished. So this is, even though this is just the third episode of this webinar, it's going to be a little different than the normal way we do things. So, so I'll just start. We're just going to be going through the web page for the equinox today due to the unusual circumstances. So, here we are with KemeTones. KemeTones is a sound healing system that's based on the planetary frequencies. We use tuning forks that are tuned to the planet. And since they're tuned to the planets, they're also tuned to the different Neteru and ancestors and gods and goddesses. And the Blue Lotus Speaks is a system of healing that I came up with when I was going through my own healing journey, healing from assault and rape in the past. So I came up with some techniques or steps to help me with my healing journey. And so now I'm in a position where I'm wanting to share what I've learned with others. So that's the Blue Lotus Speaks. It's a musical project. It's a womb wellness project, and it's just blossoming with this webinar. And lastly, of course, we have HeruScopes, which is a Kemetic sidereal astrology system. The astrology system that you're familiar with is based on the Western astrology system, which has 12 months, and the orbit around the Sun, Earth's orbit around the Sun, is divided into 12 equal segments. And it doesn't really reflect what's going on in nature. Let's see, since I don't have the little webinar slideshow, I can put the camera on it. Yeah, so it doesn't reflect anything in nature. So it's completely man-made. And so there is a sidereal astrology system that's based on reality, and that deals with the Sun moving across the constellations. HeruScopes is unique because we approach the 13-month sidereal system with the Kemetic archetypes and, there we go, and energies. All right. And then a little bit about myself. I'm Tchya Amet El Maat, and I started out as an astronomer. I was going to be a graduate student in astronomy with dreams of being an astronaut, the first black female astronaut, actually. And then while I was in grad school, I had some unusual events, and I won't go into that right now. Let's just say that's what gave birth to Blue Lotus Speaks, was the events that I experienced in my institutionalization educational years. And so when I didn't become an astronaut, I became a reggae artist and homeschooling stay-at-home mom. And when that career ended, I found, through my own healing practice, my own healing work, I found acutonics, which led to KemeTones. And that's how we got here today. So usually when we start off the sessions, we start with a song to Anpu. Since it's the equinox, I'm going to start with a different song. And I think I left my instrument in the other room. So hold on one second. Yes, I can do very much without my fifth drum. All right, so I'm just going to sing a little bit of the song about equinox. Never played it with this one before. And this is a tune that's recorded on Celestial Folk Music. The album I recorded in Rio de Janeiro. And the melody you may be familiar with is from John Coltrane, whose birthday is on September 23rd, which is when the equinox is this year on Wednesday. September 23rd, and it's a song called Equinox. Day equals night, night equals day, the world turns with a tear. Spring or fall, it's the equinox. Night equals day, day equals night. The space is gay, it's truly eve. And there's no shadow, it's the equinox. Spring point moon, opposite the sun. Aquarius, it's just begun. It's a procession of the equinox. Spring or fall, it's the equinox. And there's no shadow, it's the equinox. It's a procession of the equinox. Yes, equinox. So that's what we're going to be talking about today for our self-care session. We're going to start with the HeruScopes reading for the day. And as I said earlier, I had some technical difficulties. My entire presentation for the day vanished about an hour ago, so we're just going to run through the website entry for today. All right, so the fall equinox at HeruScopes, rising up to the fall equinox 2015, falling for autumn. Okay, so first of all, I wanted to talk about the term falling. Falling, you know, like you're falling for someone, you're falling in love. I decided 10 years ago when I was going through my divorce that I was not going to fall in love again like Dionne Warwick. I'm rising into love, I'm walking into love, I'm attracting love, but I'm not falling into love anymore. So that's why the title of this episode is Rising Up to the Fall Equinox, Falling for Autumn. It's kind of a play on words. Okay, so I'm not going to go into the whole deal about the equinox because I have this wonderful webpage here where I have lots and lots of information on the equinox. And so after this presentation, I would suggest you check it out at least before Wednesday. Looks like the videos didn't come through on this page anyway, so I'm going to have to redo it. But the images I wanted to show you right here. So yeah, so I have that song that I just sang, recorded in Rio de Janeiro, and I don't know where the web page and video is. The video has it has a lot of the diagrams and charts explaining a little bit about the equinox. Let's see if I can find them. I don't know. It's not there. But that's one thing about Mercury retrograde. If you haven't heard already, it's a lot of technical difficulties and computer crashes, and That's why when it happened an hour ago, I wasn't really surprised. I was disappointed because things have been going so well. Things are going so well, and then when the presentation crashed, it was kind of disturbing. Okay, yeah, so we can at least look at some of the charts. And you get to hear the song again. So one thing about the equinox is in the Western system, they say that we're in the sign of Libra or Ma'at, but in the sidereal system, we just entered in Virgo. So I'm going to mute this so we don't get too many distractions. Now, I wanted you to see some of these charts. Okay. Yeah, no. Oh, that's going really fast. Wow. Okay. This is not working. Bear with me. Okay. Okay, like I was saying, so we're actually in the sign of Virgo, even though most people will say that the equinox occurs during the sign of Libra. So here's the chart. It's not in focus, but you can see that Virgo starts on September 19th and goes to the end of October, and then Libra doesn't start until October 31st. Here's a chart that shows the sun rays, showing how we have supposedly equal day and equal night based on the tilt. The Earth tilts at an axis of, I think it's 23.5 degrees. That's due to the precession of the equinox, and that's why we have seasons. This one shows again about the tilt. Oh, you can't see the fall tilt on this one. Maybe the next one. Yeah, so these are just some really awesome charts. I just love the spring. Well, anyway, you can look at that when you have some more time. And then I have the MP3 song. You can listen to that. But this web page here is the page of the equinox. It has like all the charts, all the information you could need if you wanted to find out about the equinox. So now we're going to look at what's unique about today's equinox with the HeruScopes chart here. And if you're new to this and you don't know how I got this chart, you can look at the previous webinar replays, or you can just go to astrology13.com where you can enter in your own birth date information and receive your sidereal chart like this. So this is the chart for Wednesday for the equinox. And even though the equinox occurs at a particular moment in time, 1:20 a.m. Pacific time or 4:20 a.m. Eastern time, it actually lasts for 3 days. It's the time when day equals night, supposedly. However, when I was at Machu Picchu a few years ago, the guardian of the temple, where they have like an equinoctial calendar, which can tell exactly when the equinox is. And he told me that it's not really on September 21st anymore, that it depends on your geographical location, just like Sirius rising, it rises over a different place every day. The equinox it depends on where you're at. So, you know, the whole world celebrates equinox on these 3 days, but there's really no guarantee that today or the 23rd is the night that is equal hours, day or night. And I've been saying this for a couple of years, or many years. I'm going to stay up all night and actually measure it. So maybe I'll get to do that this year. I haven't done it before. But in Machu Picchu, the equinox is not until October. And I think that's really significant because the sign of Ma'at, or Libra, doesn't start until the end of October. So it makes sense, due to the precession of the equinox, that maybe the equinoxes have precessed. Maybe they're not really fixed like we think they are. But I don't know. You know, that's just me speculating. Okay, so we start off with the sun, with Ra. Ra and Djehuty, you can see, I have a little arrow. I messed this up last time, but arrow. I think I can figure it out this time. So right here, oops, we have Virgo, Aspolia, and Djehuty and the sun are in Aspolia right now. Now, Ra has to do with our creativity, and Djehuty has to do with communications. I don't want this arrow anymore. Oh, not again. This last time. Yep, I thought I had figured it out. Okay. Well, so Ra has to do with our creativity, and Djehuty has to do with communications, intelligence. Like right now, we're dealing with communications and technology. And so, yep, here we go. How do you get rid of that arrow? There we go. All right. Phew. Okay. So, sorry about that. So like I said before, this is not the time of Libra like everyone is saying. It's the time of Virgo, which is the time for purification and preparing the soil. It's the time for planting seeds for your, with good intentions. So it's a time for the purification of all things. It's a time to tend to the garden of your life. Now, in this system, the HeruScopes in the sidereal system, the months are not the same number of days. So Virgo is actually 45 days long. So we have a really long time for this purification and healing and planting seeds for the future, because the next moon or the next season cycle will be Ma'at. So if we take this time now to use our creativity and our communications for, to go through this healing and purifying process, when we do enter into the sign of Ma'at, we'll be ready. Our hearts will be pure and we'll be balanced, and it'll be much better. So I would say, based on this, that now is the time to use your creativity and your communications and preparing for the future. Now, another thing that vanished, I didn't get to find, is the Olmec sign. So I'm going to go there right now because it's really significant that I'm talking about the seed today. Because in the Mayan calendar, where is it? Okay. In the Mayan calendar, where did it go? Daily Vulcan. Okay. So this is a really good resource for tuning in with the cosmos. We can use HeruScopes, to tune in with the planets and the sun and the asteroids. But I like to use the Olmec calendar, which is called the Mayan calendar, to tune in to the galaxy, to the Milky Way galaxy. And you can see here that on the galactic tone for the day is 7. Stands as a mirror to divide light and dark, all right, to reflect all that is and is not. associated with the source of creation, the flow of divine will. A keen sense of ethics establishes purpose to current and future goals, right? So we're dealing with the equinox, which is the, dividing light and dark, reflecting what is and is not. And then over here for the sun sign, I call it the Olmec calendar because this number system was quote unquote discovered by the Europeans when they uncovered the Olmec head. So this number system is way ancient, more ancient than just the Mayans. The Mayan calendar, all this is actually Olmec, which is African or Kemetic, depending on which who you study with. So the sun sign for today, not for the equinox, but for today, because we're doing the reading today, family, sexual activity, and the magic of germination are the characteristics of this sun sign. Natural networkers, seed people strive to free themselves and others from debt or oppressive patterns of the past. Abundance is gathered by seeds as if with a cast net. Seed persons are public defenders who work towards uniting community by discovering hidden traps and secret influences of others. To generate true abundance, seed must learn to appreciate all gifts and lessons received and conduct profound investigations into itself. In the absence of gratefulness and the courage to face oneself, seed finds itself in less and less fertile environments. And I'm going to share this right now on the event page because, for your self-healing practice, you could just every now and then just tune in there, and then you could see what's going on with you for the galaxy, not just the sun and the moon and the stars, but for the galaxy. Okay. So that tied into the whole theme of the seed. Aspolia is the seed, and we're planting seeds for the future. All right. So speaking of Djehuty, like I mentioned before, the portal of Djehuty is now open. This is what others call the Mercury Retrograde. So like right now, I'm having a Mercury Retrograde experience. I could have been freaking out. I was on the phone with technical support, and I called out to one of my sister friends, but I said, you know what, I'm not going to freak out. I know that there's a reason for this, and obviously the reason is my first post was too complicated. I had too much information, and it was just like, I was so excited, and I could break that down, and, for today it doesn't have to have all that stuff. So I managed to get this thrown together in a few minutes, and so that's what I learned about the portal of Djehuty last year when I started looking at this phenomenon called Mercury Retrograde, how people are like freaking out and they're scared and they'll make decisions and your computer and the telephone and you drop your phone and people were terrified of Mercury Retrograde. And I was having some awesome experiences as far as breakthroughs in communication, technology. Maybe your computer broke down, but maybe you needed to get a new one and you just kept putting it off. It just depends on how you look at it. So I have some posts here about previous portal of Djehuty, like last year when the Mercury Retrograde was during Aspolia as well. And then here I have posts on my new strategy for dealing with Mercury Retrograde. So as I said before, I no longer see it as fear, but as an opening for learning and communication. And if you recall the song last week, Unnasun Ra, Children of Ra, Ra sends to us his wisdom through Djehuty and Shesheta. And like right now, Djehuty and Ra are both in Aspolia. So, we're getting some very divine communication. And this is open, this portal of Djehuty is open until October 9th. So it's only been 4 days. So I don't know what's been going on with you, but today for me was the wake-up call, to make sure I'm, staying in tune with Djehuty and with my my offerings to Djehuty. So yes, like I said here, I'm in the middle of a Mercury retrograde, and I just, instead of freaking out, I just say do a Djehuty, and I'm grateful that I still have technology to communicate with you all. And I'm learning how to see the gifts in the adversity. That is really so crucial. I used to be, so afraid of adversity because they were just awful. And I would stress out and get worried and panic and, anxiety attacks and fasting, all kind of things. And then this year I realized, well, one of my teachers made it clear to me, there's always a gift in the adversity. You just have to see it. And you may not see it right away, but it's always there. That's the reason that we have adversity, so that we can learn to be more appreciative and more grateful. Okay, so let's go back to the chart. There we go. So we're going to go around the chart, and in reality, time moves counterclockwise to how we're taught. So we think the zodiac signs go from Aspolia to Ma'at to Eth to Imhotep, but in reality, they go this way, precession of the equinox. So we're going to go back to Sekhmet. Sekhmet is the lioness goddess. She's the warrior goddess. She's the healing. She's the life force energy. She is the power, the healing power that we all have within ourselves. And from the story of Djehuty and Ra and Heteru, Ra sends Heteru to Earth to deal with the unrighteous and the ignorant people on Earth. She was sent there to wipe out unrighteousness. And when she got there, she enjoyed her job. She was able to kill the unrighteous people who are hurting others. She was able to take care of them. And then she got carried away and she started just killing people randomly. She started killing the righteous. And that's when her Sekhmet power got out of control. She wasn't in control of it anymore. So Ra sent Djehuty down to speak to her and bring her back to her true self. So right now Heteru is in Sekhmet, and Set, who's associated with Mars, is also in Sekhmet. And Set has a similar story. I talked about this last week because Heteru and Set are still in the sign of Sekhmet. They haven't moved yet. But it's still important for us to remember this in our healing journey. Sometimes you have to bring out Sekhmet. Sometimes we have to bring out our Set, our ego, but we want to keep it to the higher vibration. We don't want it to drop down to the lower vibration. So right now we have this opportunity with Heteru and Set in Sekhmet to figure out what that means for us, to learn how to use that healing power for ourselves. And then we go all the way around to Pikot Sahi, which is Pisces. Now, if you're first looking at this chart, you might say, oh, it's imbalanced. But if you turn it around, you can see that there is some symmetry here, so all is not lost. Okay, so we're up here at Pisces, and we have, these are the slower moving planets, so they're not going to change from week to week, so I don't really talk about them very much. But we have Heru is in Pikot Sahu, and Heru, or Uranus, is still retrograde. We'll be retrograde until December 25th or 26th. And so the way I interpret this, same as with Mercury retrograde, Uranus retrograde, is the portal of Heru is open. So this is a time for us to take, maybe wild, radical, rebellious, unheard of actions to stand up for ourselves, to speak up for ourselves, to bring about redemption, redemption of Africa, redemption of Kemet, restoration of Ma'at upon the earth, returning native lands to the native and original inhabitants. This is a time to do something you've never thought of doing before. Write a letter to your congressman if you're into politics, or put out a blog post about something that's really important to you. Now is the time to use your creativity and your communication and your wisdom to help bring about this purification of all things, the great purification of all things, which is the time we're living in. And then also, like I said, we're getting ready to move into Ma'at. So we want to try to get some of these things lined up, the healing. And then we move over to Ku, which is Aquarius. Aquarius is the one that carries the wisdom information and pours it out to us like in the water that flows from the cups, or the light energy that we share when we share our wisdom. And again, these two planets haven't changed, Chiron, the wounded healer, and Neptune. They haven't changed much, so I won't talk about them. You can look at previous posts, and then when I get back in here and redo this web page, I'll have all that information there, because we're almost done. And then over here we have Pimade, or Sagittarius. We have the moon. The moon goddess in HeruScopes is Shasheta. Shasheta is the goddess of writing, astronomy, astrology, math, sacred geometry, architecture, engineering, anything having to do with building and writing, technology. She's the goddess, the lady of the library, the lady of the house of books. Like I said before, I handed over all of my business and accounting matters to her. I let go and let Shasheta. And Pluto is a Sar, and it's still in Sagittarius. So the moon is the one that will be moving in a few days. So right now in the equinox, we want to take advantage of Shasheta being in this sign of wisdom and traveling and moving forward. And before this happened to me with the computer, I was saying this is the time to build your vehicle so you can travel through challenges and adversity and remain calm, because the moon energy also has to do with our personality and our character. And so like in the past, I would break down and get really upset when things like this happen. And I guess I've been working on my vehicle that will carry me through these challenges. And so that is what I have to say about, and then here we have Rafan, who is in Ma'at. Rafan has to do with boundaries, obstacles, limitations, and, since it's in the cycle of Ma'at, then that would mean that it's the time to come up with a way to respond to these obstacles and challenges in a peaceful way. Now is the opportunity to figure this out for ourselves. This is part of the healing journey. This is the work I do when I do HeruScopes for this day, or when I'm going to, or KemeTones treatment on myself. I check in and see what's going on with the cosmos. So if you had time to do your own chart, then you could compare your chart with the chart for the day. And then that's how you would pick your tuning fork. Okay, so let me see if I missed anything here. Yes, okay. So when I was talking about Sekhmet and Heru and Set, I didn't talk about Jupiter, which carries the Amun vibration, the Amun energy. So the Amun energy is the witnessing consciousness. It's when your mind is completely clear and empty of thoughts. You've reached a really pure state in your meditation. That's the Amun state. And so I was saying that during this equinox with the moon in Sagittarius, this would be a time to develop the ability to go from the peaceful, vast emptiness of a moon consciousness. And then when necessary, you can pull out Sekhmet, you can pull out Set, Heru and Set, they have to battle the ego and the higher self. Or Heru and Sekhmet, she has to struggle to pull back her warrior energy. Like I used to be warrior energy 100%, like always. If you said anything about Kemet or Africa or Native America that was, or a diet that was out of alignment with my perspective, I was all over it, right? And so I've learned how to, remain calmer, or at least return to that calm state faster than I was before. Like maybe not instantly, but I'll get back there. And so in future sessions, we'll talk about some of those techniques as well. But like right now, you know, the equinox and the blood moon, those are priorities for me right now. Okay, so Rafan is in Ma'at. So the main thing about that is the restoration of Ma'at to the earth. And yes, my little handy visual's not here, so I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to go to the place where I have the song on SoundCloud, and I'm just going to sing it. I'm not going to, if I can find it quickly. Nope. There we go. Yeah, so Om Ma'at Geb is a really powerful chant or hekal to be working with right now, because, like I say, we're in this state of purification, and then we're going to be entering into the time of Ma'at. I don't want it to play right now. I want you to see the pictures. Okay, so yes, I just wanted you to see this illustration here. This is from the, you know, the sacred texts and papyri, and it's the image of Nut, which you've seen before, the goddess of the sky and the night sky. That's where the word night comes from, Nut. And then Shu, who is holding up Nut from Geb. Has that stupid thing there. But anyway, Geb represents the earth, and Nut represents the sky. And sometimes you see images of Nut where it's covered, of Geb where he's covered with feathers of Ma'at. And that is to symbolize Ma'at has been restored upon the earth. So I just wanted you to see that. And so I will, I'm going to do that little chant. I came up, well, this chant came to me last summer, right around my birthday. I had just done that presentation at Reggae on the River, and someone walked into my booth. I was doing I had a sound healing booth, and someone walked into the booth and assaulted me. It was unbelievable. I could not believe it. I just say it was unbelievable. But it was horrible, and it took me a while to get out of the cathartic state, you know, where you're just numb. Yes, some guy walked into my booth and put one hand on my left breast and the other hand headed into my crotch. I had clothes on, so you couldn't, but it was horrible. So anyway, I came home, I set up my pyramid. I've shown you, you've seen a little bit of the pyramid here in the sound healing room. And I sat in the pyramid, and this is the chant that came out. And yes, may Ma'at be restored upon the earth. A lot of things going on right now that I wish weren't going on, but they are. And there's always a gift in adversity, and someday we're going to see what the gift is. But right now, we just need to stay calm while we're going through all of these changes. And I don't know if any of you have any questions. I see that there's people on the line. So if you're on the computer, I think you can just speak. I don't have anyone muted. And if you're on the phone, I believe you press *7. And if that's not working for you, I haven't been able to get that to work yet. So you can just type your question in the chat room or at the event page, or send me an email, and I'm going to eventually figure this out, how I can hear you. I know it works. Okay, so again, when you see feathers of Ma'at on Geb in the iconography, that means that the prayer is for Ma'at to be restored upon the earth. Some people, when they first come into the teachings, they might think that there's 42 principles of Ma'at, and this is where the 10 Commandments came from. And they see them as like a prison, or just boundaries, or it's too hard, or I can't keep up with all 42, and so they just give up on it. However, once you get more into the teachings, you realize that Ma'at is the foundation of creation. Right here, foundation of creation. The first thing that Ra did when creation was established was to lay down the foundation of Ma'at. Like everything in nature has the cosmic principle of Ma'at within it. And some human beings, or maybe they're not human, some beings choose to ignore Ma'at or disregard Ma'at, or act like it's not there, and then ask, why is this happening? Why is this happening? So I think that the equinox is time when we come into alignment with the universe. Things, due to the wobble of the precession of the equinox, we've come out of alignment. We fall out of Ma'at. We forget our divine nature. We forget who we are. And so at the equinox and the solstice, it's the time to go back to that alignment, to that renewal. Right now we have the portal of Djehuty open, the portal of Heru open. Now's the time to take heroic action for Ma'at. Now's the time to speak out against unrighteousness. Now's the time to share Ma'at with the world. Yes, another visual that's missing is the one about the purification of all things. In the Hopi tradition, the time that we're living in, right now, what some call Armageddon, the end of the world, Y2K, the harmonic convergence, all these things, the Hopi call this the purification of all things, where everything on earth will be purified, restored, renewed, regenerated. And it's not always fun, it's not always peaceful, it's not always pleasant, but we have to do the work. And there's another song that's not here, but for time's sake, I'll post the updated page as soon as it's available with the music and everything. It was so weird. I had just sent out the announcement, and then I hit the wrong button. I take responsibility. I hit the wrong button, and it vanished. Okay. All right. So I already talked about Heru is in the sign of Pisces. It's retrograde until December 25th, 26th, and I thought that was pretty funny because in the Western tradition of Asar, Aset, and Heru, Heru is born on December 25th. In the HeruScopes, that day comes 3 days after the winter solstice. When Babylon is trying to steal our culture, they always time their events 3 days or 8 days after the natural event. You could look at winter solstice, equinox, Sirius rising, Halloween, Easter, all these holidays, they have timed, even Mother's Day. They all have them timed, so we think it's some amazing Babylon day. But actually, they're just riding on the coattails of the natural holy days. So anyway, I thought it was interesting how the portal of Heru is still going to be open on the winter solstice, which is the actual birthday of Heru, because we're talking about the rebirth of the sun, S-U-N, the rebirth of Ra, the rebirth of Asar through the birth of Heru. But it closes on the day of the Western observance. Okay. So see, I already went through this. Personality. Okay. So, and I apologize. Well, I'm not going to apologize, but the portal of Djehuty is open. I'll have a brand new post in a couple of hours. I'll get it updated. So that was our HeruScope for the day, and for the equinox, which is on Wednesday. The other thing I was going to share was about what's happening next week. And so I will have this post updated so you'll be prepared for what's coming next week. On the 27th and the 28th of September is the 4th blood red moon. See, I don't have any images, so I'll just put mine back up. The 4th blood red moon. It's a tetra, and you know, there was 2 in 2014, the spring equinox and the fall equinox, and then we had one this spring equinox, 2015, and now we're having this one at the fall equinox, 2015. Now, the one in the spring of this year, wow, I didn't really get to talk about that one because my experience was kind of traumatic. It was the equinox occurred during the eclipse. It occurred during the blood moon. And wow, for some reason during that time, Spirit decided it was time for me to experience ayahuasca. You know, I did come back from Ecuador. I'm planning to move there. And so the opportunity arose for me to go on an ayahuasca retreat during the eclipse and the equinox. And it was amazing. The ceremony was amazing, everything. However, the day after the ceremony, when we were leaving, I ended up having 3 seizures. I didn't remember anything. 2 days. I lost 2 days completely. Talk about eclipse. And I couldn't walk for 6 or 7 days. And I had memory loss. I woke up in the hotel room and didn't recognize my friends that had brought me, that were with me during the seizures. I didn't remember going to the ocean. I didn't remember any of the things that happened. And so during the last equinox, I had a complete reset. You know, when I was a baby, I had seizures. I had seizures up until the time I was 7. So at first it might sound really scary, but what actually happened was I got a total reset. I went back to how I was at birth. I was completely reborn. And a lot of things about myself, my mindset, my attitude, my work, my diet, relationships, even my taste buds, how I dress, how I walk, everything about me is completely changed. I haven't been able to write about it because I didn't want to give ayahuasca a bad name. And I know there's a lot of spiritual people out there that don't think we should take these type of plants. And even my yoga teacher, Seva Maat, you know, said never do this again. And so I haven't really, you know, processed the whole thing. But I was just trying to give you the significance of these blood red moons. And we're really fortunate that the equinox is the week before the blood red moon instead of actually during. So I will post some more information, you know, next couple hours. I'm going to finish the webpage for the presentation. And so why am I talking about all this right now? What does this have to do with self-care? So like I mentioned before, the Blue Lotus Speaks is my program or system of healing that I developed based on my own healing journey, coming back from rape and assault and abuse and neglect and violation and theft. And that's enough. I'm not going to give it any more energy. But the Blue Lotus Speaks is based on my journey back from all of that. And one of the things that I've learned since doing this work is that when we experience trauma, it causes a block in our root chakra, which is connected to our security, our stability, and our finances, and our financial freedom. And so I've learned that whenever I do a lot of healing work on my womb and my past, and whenever I'm consistent with my self-care practice and my study practice, my spiritual practice, I find that my money flow opens. You know, I have my money flow increases, my abundance increases. And then let's say I have like another setback, you know, like when the people were trying to steal my apartment building last month, then my finances shut down. Like everything stops. There's no money flow. There's negative dollars in the bank. And so after, you know, years of going up and down, it's like, you know, I'm an entrepreneur, self-employed, so it's feast or famine. And so I refuse to famine. I fast. So for me, it's fast or famine. Yeah, so there's a connection. So based on all the things that are going on with the planets and the stars and the galaxy, and we're going to have all this time in Aspolia, which is related to healing and purification and putting things in order and getting ready for the cycle of Ma'at, and all the things I just talked about in HeruScopes, I decided tonight that we would share the Oath of Manifestation. Now, I don't know, well, yeah, where did you go here? I have the link to it at the page, on the web page, but here it is. So, for the past, I guess it's been 20 days now. Today's day 20. I've been following the 40-day prosperity plan. I'm in a women's circle, and so we decided to follow this plan together. And this is the third time I've done it. This is the first time I've done it by myself. I mean, this is the first time I've done it with a group. The other 2 times I did it by myself. But so we've been doing the prosperity plan for 20 days now. And a few days ago, well, has it been a week? I think it's been a week. The days and nights are just floating into each other. I don't know if it's been a week or a few days. I was gifted with this Oath of Manifestation. And this was written by a priestess or a reverend at the Agape Center with Reverend Michael Beckwith from The Secret. You know, he was in The Secret, the movie The Secret. And so I've been reciting this Oath of Manifestation at least once a day, and then the prosperity plan twice a day. And even though I had this crazy Portal of Djehuty mishap today, I also had something truly amazing and abundant happen for me. And that's when I knew that I wanted to share the Oath of Manifestation with you all today. So it's kind of long. I'm not going to do call and response, but I will post it. I think I already posted it at the event page and, you know, shared it different places. And, you know, if at any time you think you would like to have a strategy session with me, you could sign up for a strategy session. We could, you know, I'm going to be starting a Open Your Money Flow program. It's going to be starting in a few weeks. That'll be a 5-week program. And then I'm going to be starting the Blue Lotus Speaks program and the Knoxville Bliss program very soon. So if you're interested in working with me on any of these aspects of healing, your healing journey, you know, please get in touch with me. Otherwise, you can just keep tuning in to these webinars. I'm going to be sharing with you all the tools that I use in my own self-care practice. Okay? So, so if you're interested in working with me, you could sign up for a strategy session. Those are complimentary. They last around 15 minutes. And we just go over, you know, what's going on with you and see if there's some way that I can be of service to you. So right now we're going to close out with this Oath of Manifestation. Like I said, it was written by, do they have her name? Yeah, they don't even have her name on this one. Another one may do, but they don't have her name. So I will have that posted as well. The Oath of Manifestation. I accept and receive unexpected good, unexpected money, unexpected love, unexpected kindness, unexpected generosity, unexpected offers, unexpected prosperity, coming in unexpected ways from unexpected places in my life and the life of others. I am constantly guided and boldly empowered to receive the lavish abundance of the universe. I accept the principle that abundance and prosperity have already been given to me. My acceptance makes it real and opens the space for manifestation to rush in. I open wide the doors of my consciousness to receive and to give. It is done now. Through this oath of manifestation, all things are possible. I declare absolutely that I live in a friendly universe that is always providing for me. I feel it powerfully happening now. I open to receive more abundance and to give more abundance than I have ever experienced before. I can afford anything I desire. In fact, I am so prosperous that I need never worry again. I am grateful for all that I already have and grateful for all that I am ready to give. I keep myself lifted up in high consciousness, no matter what the appearances are. The divine is all there is. I let the God times roll, and so it is. Ashe, Aho, Namaste, Hatep. Yes, so this Oath of Manifestation plus the 40-day prosperity plan, I highly recommend to anyone who's on their self-healing journey, their self-care journey, especially if you've experienced trauma in your past. I have an ebook. I will post that at the event page as well. That goes into some of these same, some more of these techniques. Where the trauma is stored in our root chakra, and we can't move forward in our finances. Or let's say we're at a really good place in our finances, and we want to break through. We want to be able to do more so we can help others. Well, we can't break through until we go back and do some more healing and some more clearing work on ourselves. And so that's why, it's good to keep up with HeruScopes. That's why I start off every one of these sessions with an analysis of the day so that, we can see where we are in relation to the cosmos. So, and that is what I have for you today. I wish you an abundant and healthy autumn equinox on Wednesday. I sincerely hope and wish for you that you have some time to just take some time out to just, sit still in the stillness and the quiet. Some of the chants that I've been sharing with you will come in really handy for your self-care and your healing work, because as we heal ourselves, as we heal our lives, we are bringing forth healing in the lives of our family and our loved ones, and then that just goes from there. It's like if we're a pyramid of healing, then we're just sending out rays of healing and purity to everyone in our community. So I hope you were able to maintain that energy. And well, I guess we have a little time for meditation. If no one's in a hurry, it's not really that late, so I think we have a little time for that. Unless there's any questions or someone can figure out how to communicate with me through this system. Okay. All right then. Well, I invite you to get into a comfortable seated position. Your legs folded if you're seated on the floor, or if you're in a chair with your back straight, your feet firmly planted on the ground. All right, let's take a few deep breaths together. Inhale slow and deep, allowing the abdomen to fill with fresh sekhem. Inhale all the way up to your crown chakra. And exhale and relax fully, completely, until your abdomen area is almost touching your spine. Another slow, deep breath. Inhale. And relax with the ah. So I invite you to visualize that you're sitting in a beautiful forest in a small clearing. There's trees all around you, like a circle of trees around you. You're in the center of a circle of trees. You're enjoying the beautiful green all around, the beautiful life, and you feel the life force energy coming from the trees, coming from the flowers, coming from the grass, coming from the wildlife that's hiding from you. Your sekhem, your life force energy is enhanced, is increased, until it becomes one with the energy of the forest. You are now vibrating with the energy of the forest. As you inhale carbon dioxide from the plants and the trees, you inhale the oxygen and the air that we need from the trees, and then you exhale the carbon dioxide that the trees need. You have this exchange of the air, the breath, the prana. You inhale from the trees what you need, and you exhale what the trees need. So we have this relationship with the earth. Everything that we need is on the breath. Inhale and exhale. Now you can feel yourself really vibrating, feeling the life force energy of the world around you. And you inhale a beautiful green light. Beautiful green light. It enters your system and it activates each one of your chakras. Starts at the root chakra, beautiful green light, and then to your creativity chakra, beautiful green drop of light, up to the solar plexus chakra, to the heart chakra. This beautiful green energy from the trees is removing blocks in your system. Up to the throat chakra, to your first eye, and now your crown chakra. And now your entire being is flooded with this green energy, this nurturing energy from the trees and the plants of the forest. Inhale up again, and as you exhale, you're letting go all the toxins. The toxins are washing away from your crown chakra, purifying your mind and your brain. Now your first eye is purified, and your inner vision is clear, and your pineal gland, all the calcification is removed. And this energy moves down to your throat, and your throat chakra is clear, and you're able to speak clearly and loudly and purely. And down to your heart chakra, and your heart chakra is now as light as a feather, light as the feather of Ma'at. You have no needs or desires because they've all been met due to this activation. And your solar plexus is now purified and aligned with Ma'at. And all of your actions are righteous. All of your actions are true to yourself. And your creativity chakra is activated and clear and pure. And your root chakra is grounded and fully connected to the earth. And you feel at one with the earth. And you look overhead, and Ra, the sun, is at its zenith. It's directly over your head, streaming energy straight down into your crown chakra. You're receiving wisdom and guidance directly from Ra. Your first eye is energized, and you receive a vision. It is a vision of your next step. Your next step. It is the action that you will take on the day of the equinox. It is the action that you will take to set your life forward, to move it forward. It's the action that you will take because now the blocks have been removed. You've connected with the earth. The seed of Aspolia has been planted in your consciousness. You're aligned with Ma'at, and you're ready to express your creativity. You're ready to receive your abundance. You're ready to manifest your abundance. You see your vision all around you. The forest has been transformed into the environment of your vision. The very scene you wish to create is now standing before you. You rise up from your seated position with the sun directly over your head, and you know this is the moment of the equinox, the moment that you've been waiting for. You take a deep breath. Inhale, and before you can exhale, you notice something falling from the sky, drifting down, 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 slowly, and you wonder what it is, and it lands in your hand, and it is the feather of Ma'at. The feather of Ma'at has landed in your hand, and now more feathers are falling all on you, just as in the image of Ma'at being restored upon the earth. Ma'at has been restored within you. And now you step into your vision. You step into your vision and you live out your life. Om Ma'ati Ma'akeru. Om Ma'ati Ma'akeru. Om Ma'ati Ma'akeru. Om Ma'ati Ma'akeru. ready, you can return to normal consciousness. Thank you for tuning in today and for staying for the entire program. And I will be finishing up this webpage and posting it very soon. And if you have any questions, you can contact me on the event page. You can contact me at cosmic@tchia.com. That's all for today. Om Ma'at Gab Hatep. See ya. We will do a posture. Well, this is a sign of adoration and gratitude as they do it to all of you. Hatep.